Excellent. Well, I love watching BOSCH. I just think I'm always telling the women athletes in Belgium that they've got to get the B factor.
Yeah.
And it could actually be for BOSCH factor.
Well, this time she didn't have the B for boxing factor against.
No, well, you think it's going to be a domestic, don't you?
Exactly.
And I was looking for that as well. However, I didn't expect that at all. I thought she was really going to give it to her.
She had a step back, didn't she?
Exactly, a bit on her heels there,
yeah.
And got put in her place. Absolutely.
She gave it all with that Uchimata though. That was a nice thing to see. She looked at the clock, she said, I'm going here. And she really did give it.
She's been around, I mean, experience is going to, it's more often than not, win out. Hopefully. You'd like that.
I wouldn't say that Colin was intimidated, but I think you picked the right word. She gave her respect. Not
coming out under the Belgian flag.
Yeah.
Still a huge amount of appreciation by the Dutch crowd. Which is nice.
In the competition, that would have really, helped to, keep the spirits up. Kilo.
I love it. Where was it in the 90s? I love it. Then again, maybe I wouldn't have.
My mistake. You should have told me. Grohl.
I was going to say Grohl won.
Reversal thing against the thing with Kapalik. Yeah.
Hey, I know you're the man with.
To one of the athletes about the way that the contest ended, and having complained about the Wazari that went against it. Kapalik complained about it, and the refereeing commission were already reviewing it. They didn't review it because he complained. They were already reviewing it, and it went in his favour. The Wazari was downgraded to Yuko. They both had a Yuko, and then Grohl came back to and said, he beat me.
Do you know what?
Fair and square.
This is the difference between men's judo and women's judo. I have to say, men can absolutely punch it out and then say, you know what, let's go have a beer.
Yeah.
Up for a pint.
You did me.
Women were ready to pull every hair out of their head.
Again. Wow.
And for the next 20 years as well. You'll pass each other in the company.
Told me exactly the same thing.
You don't forget.
Yeah, they wouldn't be friends with a teammate who qualified for the Olympics. And I was saying, when you make qualifiers for the Olympics, you go and knock on the door and say, right, the next 4 months of preparation up to and including the game, more money. We get more money.
You'd like to think that. See, that's a male perspective right there.
She said, the two of them said, it ain't happening.
That was me. When Alison Webb went to the 92 Olympics, they wanted me to come to do training. I was no show dummy. But that's a woman. That's
what they said.
Women's solution.
Ain't happening. No score yet between BOSCH and BLANCO.
No, they've given us time to chat, haven't they?
Well, just to bed in, to settle in and get things going. He's the one that's picked up the one warning that's on the board. And
you know what I like though? I like her upright stance.
Yeah.
With a lot of the students in Spanish, especially my
one of the things that encourages that is the height. Blanco's not short either. She's got nice, she's got nice posture. Well,
and the thing is, I mean, once you bend over, you lose all your strength, I think. You need that core power. Oh,
you've got that longer distance to close for those big techniques as well.
That's true.
In the 60s, it's going to take another, couple of years for that group of cadets and juniors and under 23s to come through, but they'll come through having had that kind of upright stance. I think it'd be really good for judo.
And the next thing will be they'll get really exciting, especially in the lower weight category.
Speaking of pace, got just over half a minute left for them to pace themselves. Wonder whether they're going to go into golden score here because no score on the board yet.
Good fitness though.
Even the ones that have got into golden score. In the old days, you would see some of the Eastern Bloc countries, the Georgians and the Bulgarians and stuff, they would probably, be breathing really, really heavily. But they all,
a warning penalty. However, it is late in the match, and she's been pushed to her line.
2 or 3, you only need to sit back for 2 or 3, call them cycles. Each time he says hajime, there's a cycle in between there and the next time the hajime comes, and you only need to sit back for 2 or 3, and then you get the passivity warning.
That's it.
Got to keep up the like this.
Now here they would have, while they're tying their belts and that, they have a mental preparation. It's a mental break. You're starting over. I know the warnings are still on the board, but as far as the referees are concerned, it has to be almost a new match, really.
I'll lead you to it then.
Right. A man would think that.
Oh, she probably
what
said
I'm
something
thinking
else.
she's thinking is going, oh, yes, this could be your next.
Don't get up again, yeah.
Stay down if you know what's good for you. Oh, this is nice to hear. I was saying, it's just so lovely to see all the kids, you know, around and giving them support and showing that the younger generation is coming forward and appreciating higher level judo.
A lot of them came to see Judo Melmont, apparently, and he's here again today.
Off grip there. What a stance. That's such an awkward stance. Both looking for the arm. Oh, there. He's got it now. Always looking for a two-handed grip, always. It's optimal, isn't it?
I think that's, all the judges agree with us, Nikki.
They should show.
Imagine, they only needed 2 more of him in the middle and she'd be off.
That's right, you're right.
It's not fair though, is it?
No, it's not,
I mean,
and I've been the victim of that, and that's, see, to the side.
if they can.
That's it. I mean, back to the Hank Cole fight. Really, what Neil and I were discussing was that it wasn't so much the fact was it a Yuko? Was it a score, or was it after the bell?
Yeah.
And they took the 6
inside the last minute then.
I think I'd have to give this one to Fields the whole time.
And it's like a boxer, you know, when you go in to fight for that world championship, the other person has got to come and take it from you. You know, and BOSCH has looked positive enough.
Yeah, yeah.
BLANCO, to me, hasn't.
Just waiting, really, opportunist, not being offensive.
She has.
Give BOSCH a bit more fight here.
She hasn't given anything away, but she hasn't taken.
Well, I think that's just tiredness.
And this time she will go because two things. One, they don't. 2, they've asked them to tie their belts up.
It's always a bad sign. Get dressed. Oh no.
Exactly. You can come with all the tactic things and everything. When the referee says, "Do your belt up,"